What's going on, guys? Soleb here from Second Opinion Productions. I'm here with the first ever Double Take. Now on the Double Take, we actually review a previously released title and talk about the sequel of that game. Now in this aspect, we'll be talking about Transformers War for Cybertron, brought to you by Hasbro, Activision, and High Moon Studios. Now, the storyline of Transformers War for Cybertron is set on the planet Cybertron prior to the Transformers' contact with the planet Earth. Robotic in nature, each Transformer has the ability to transform to their robot mode and to an alternative form, such as a tank or a jet. Transformers are engaged in civil war on their planet Cybertron with one another. There are two factions: the Autobots, who are led by Zeta Prime, and the Decepticons, who follow Megatron. Now, one of the big things about the Decepticons throughout the Transformer, series, animated series, movies, so on and so forth, is that the Decepticons can't even trust themselves. If you are not a Transformers, fan or follower, you will realize this whenever you play this game, that you have people like Starscream, so on and so forth, that really want to rule the Decepticons themselves, although their ruler is Megatron. But I digress from what I'm saying. Zeta Prime is killed in this game, leaving behind an inexperienced leader, Optimus, who must lead the Autobot forces to prevent Megatron from corrupting the planet. Megatron actually finds a source, which is Dark Energon, that he thinks is going to help the planet, but it actually destroys the home world he is trying to save for his Decepticon brothers. Now, one of the great things about this game is the graphics. The graphics are outstanding, very eye-popping, and there is not one point in time that I was playing this game and was kind of held back to say, well, they could have done better here or there. It really ties in well with the animated series, and also just the movies. You get a really good connection because they did such a good job with graphics of rendering the characters, making sure that everything was in its right place. Now let's talk about gameplay. The gameplay of the game is very smooth. It's very fast-paced, and it is, let's say another word for it, high octane. Had a little Transformers thing in there because they transform into cars. High octane. Anyways, but what's great about the gameplay is that there is not one moment that you really stop and wonder, what am I going to do next? You always want to keep on the move because you really get involved in the game with the characters, Optimus Prime, Bumblebee, Ratchet, so on and so forth, Megatron. And also gameplay, kind of wrapping it with storyline, you can play as the Autobots or the Decepticons. Now, each one of these have 5 chapters, and you can play as separate characters. You can either play as Optimus Prime, like you could play as the leader, the soldier, or the medic on each one of these, great storylines. So it gives you an eyes view or a point of view from the Autobots and the Decepticons instead of just telling the story of the Autobots. The music and the audio of the game is outstanding. The actual, there was a lot of the original voice actors from the Transformers original series and movies that partook in this, and the music is wonderful. It's a great experience that I definitely think everyone needs to check out. If you haven't checked it out yet, please make sure that you do. Now, one of the next things that we'll be talking about right after this is multiplayer. So tune in, and then we'll be right back.
If your flight squadrons know, and don't worry, we'll get those guns online. Not now, Ratchet. Jetfire needs those guns online.
Now, as you can see right here, you get a little bit of a customization with the multiplayer. You have different forms that you can take. You got the soldier, which are showing right now, blowing the hell out of people. You also have the scientist, which most of the times they're, the air wave guys. Scouts, which can turn invisible. And you also have the unbelievable leaders, which you can customize as well as you can. Now that's one thing that we'll talk about here in a minute too, is the customization is not as high-tech as it is in the upcoming fall for Cybertron, but you can actually customize your colors and somewhat customize your players. But the multiplayer actually has, you know, Conquest, Deathmatch, Team Deathmatch, and a few other modes, and it is really great, guys. So make sure to check that out. As you can see right now, you got a little bit of a Decepticon story. Don't mess with Megatron, as you see right there. But what I want to talk about real quick is a fall for Cybertron story after I give you a little bit of a score. War for Cybertron is a great title that is something you don't want to miss, especially with a title like Fall for Cybertron coming out. We here at Second Opinion actually want to give this game a 9 out of 10. It's unbelievable. There's a few things that they can work on whenever it came down to, you know, character design, but as a full-on title, the game is really great. Now, what I want to talk about now is Fall for Cybertron. The Fall for Cybertron story, it starts, basically immediately continues the story from Transformers War for Cybertron, with civil war between the Autobots and Decepticons controlling the fate of their homeworld, Cybertron. The developer High Moon Studios hopes to show a darker tone to the original game. As Game Informer states, this game changes and improves upon so many of the fundamental ideas that the developer considers the game a natural source rather than a true sequel. What's great about it is that Fall for Cybertron depicts the final battle between two robot factions, which results in the destruction of their homeworld, forcing the Autobots to seek refuge in our galaxy, the Milky Way. Now, one of the awesome things is that the Transformers Fall for Cybertron demo is actually available on Xbox Live and the PlayStation Network right now. So if you want to, make sure to download that. It's completely free. It has story modes from the Autobots, story modes from the Decepticons, and also a full multiplayer mode that you can play on there with your friends. Now make sure to check back here at secondopinionpod.com for our upcoming review of Fall for Cybertron. And guys, if you like this video, comment below, let us know what you think. I know I had a little bit of wonk in my voice of talking about some things, but you know, as a Transformers fan, I really felt like I needed to do this double take video, because one of the big things that is going to be featured in Fall for Cybertron is a new character called Grimlock. Dinobots, baby, bringing it back. But as the original saying goes, you got the touch, you got the power. So make sure to check out secondopinionpod.com. Thank you to High Moon Studios, Activision, and Hasbro for having these awesome titles. Peace out, guys. Have a good night.